I can still see that night in my mind, sharp and unrelenting. Her laughter lingers there even now, months later, haunting me. It was supposed to be our 10th anniversary, a quiet, intimate dinner at home, the kind that once felt like our safe little world. I had gone all in, cooked her favorite meal, set the table just right, even dug up that old playlist we used to dance to back when love felt effortless, unspoken, inevitable. I hoped it might remind her of US, of the version of ourselves that hadn't learned how to drift apart yet. She came down the stairs in that blue dress I'd always loved. For a fleeting moment, I thought time had rewound. Then I noticed her smile. It wasn't real, not the kind that lights up the eyes. It was polite, distant, like something you flash at a stranger complimenting your outfit. Then it was quiet, painfully so. The scraping of forks on plates felt louder than any conversation we managed. I asked about her day, her work, anything to fill the silence, but her answers were short, distracted. Her phone buzzed beside her plate every few minutes. I didn't ask who it was. I was too tired of sounding like a jealous husband. After we ate, I brought out a small gift, simple, heartfelt, a framed photo from our first trip together, edges worn, colors fading. On the back, a short note, 10 years and I'd still choose you. I thought it would mean something. She laughed instead, not a startled giggle or a nervous chuckle, a real laugh that froze me. What's funny? I asked, keeping my voice steady. I didn't mean to, she said, almost too quickly. It just caught me off guard. Caught you off guard? How? She looked at the photo again. Her expression softened, but only slightly. It's sweet. I just wasn't expecting it. You're always so sentimental. That word hit harder than I expected. Sentimental, as if it were a flaw. I said nothing, simply set the frame down. The rest of the night passed in slow, blurred motion. I cleaned up while she scrolled through her phone, legs curled on the couch as if nothing had happened. Later, when I sat beside her, she glanced up. Hey, I love you, okay? Don't look like that. Her voice trembled slightly, not from guilt, but from fear. Fear of something she revealed she couldn't undo. I gave a weak smile. It's fine. I overreacted. She hugged me, pressing her face to my chest, but it wasn't the kind of embrace that heals. It was the kind that tries to patch a crack too deep to fix. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I stared at the ceiling, listening to her steady breathing, and felt something inside me unravel. It wasn't anger keeping me awake. It was understanding. Slow, painful understanding. That laugh wasn't just a laugh. It was recognition, proof that she no longer saw me the way she once did. Somewhere along the way, the man she loved had become predictable, soft, forgettable. The next morning, while she showered, I flipped through old photos. Every smile seemed genuine, every touch natural. When she came out and noticed a frame on the counter, she smiled faintly. You should have been a poet, she said. You always find meaning in everything. Casual, teasing almost, but with an unmistakable truth beneath it. She didn't feel the same. I had been holding on to a love she quietly left long ago. Still, I played along. We went to work, came home, ate dinner, watched shows we barely noticed. But every laugh she let slip reminded me of that anniversary night, the one that made me realize I was the only one still trying. A week later, I saw the photo frame again on the kitchen counter. A crack ran across one corner of the glass. What happened? I asked. It must have fallen when I was cleaning, she shrugged. No apology, no attempt to fix it. I noticed how easily she could disregard something that once meant everything. When you still care, you try to mend what's broken. She didn't even glance at it again. That night, I sat alone scrolling through our old texts, long messages, inside jokes. I miss you and good night that used to flow effortlessly. The last real message she'd sent, one not about groceries or plans, was months old. Months since she'd said, I love you, without me saying it first. She walked in and saw me lost in my phone. You're not still upset about the other night, are you? No, I said quietly. Just thinking. About what? About when we stopped really talking to each other. She gave a small, defensive laugh. We talk all the time. No, I said, shaking my head. We exchange words. That's not the same thing. For a moment, her expression softened, like she wanted to be honest. Then she sighed. You're overthinking again, Daniel. You always do this. Overthinking. Another word that sounds harmless until you realize it means I care more than you do. I didn't argue, just nodded. Maybe she was right. But deep down, I knew we were done, even if neither of us said it aloud. The following weekend, I suggested a short trip, just the two of us, like old times. She hesitated, then agreed. I booked a cabin a couple of hours away, hoping the quiet might remind us of who we used to be, but silence only made the distance louder. The second night, we sat by the fire. She scrolled through her phone. I asked softly, "Do you remember when we used to stay up all night talking?" She looked up briefly. That was a long time ago. Feels like another life, I said. Maybe it was, she murmured. I said nothing. There was nothing left to fix. The next morning, I packed my bag before she woke and left the key on the counter with a note. You once said laughter means happiness, but that night it didn't sound like happiness. It sounded like goodbye. Take care, Nicole. I drove home alone, not angry, not heartbroken, just empty, the kind of emptiness that feels clear, like sunlight after a storm. Hours later, my phone rang. Her name flashed. I didn't answer. She texted, "Daniel, where are you?" We were supposed to drive back together. I mean what I said last night. Please answer. I didn't. For once, silence said what words never could. That evening, I sat on the porch watching the sunset. The quiet felt different, lighter, peaceful. Love doesn't always end in chaos or betrayal. Sometimes it just fades, until one day you wake beside someone who isn't your partner anymore, just a stranger wearing their face. A few days later, she came for her things. Eyes red but steady. "Is this really what you want?" she asked. I looked at her, truly looked, and saw she had left me long before I walked away. "Yes," I said softly. "It's what we both need." She nodded, tears sliding down her cheeks. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "So am I," I replied. When she left, I didn't watch her go. I didn't need to. That night, I placed a cracked photo frame on the shelf above my desk. Not as a symbol of loss, but of truth. Sometimes love doesn't end with shouting or betrayal. Sometimes it ends with laughter, the kind that stings because it shows what's already gone. And strangely, I was grateful. That laugh had given me something I hadn't had in years: honesty.